right, so now this is the question here. Create a method using the reference parameter. Let me make this bigger. Okay. And let's open up a Visual Studio to do it. Then we're going to move on using project maybe. And just create a new one. And Windows Forms next. And this is, which homework is this? Week homework 10, right? So save to desktop, press OK. All right, so let me put a code. So basically we just need to write a code. So we'll put a code in the forms code page. Okay, so here we have a class, we have constructor, club stat, and now let's create a method. So first method is using the reference parameter to initialize a string variable to none. Yeah, so what is given is a string variable. Okay, but that string variable is going to be reference parameter. And so that means that you're going to use the same variable to return the value as at the same time to also input the value. So just say void, and then let's change text. Okay. And then reference, the string, and just say message, okay? Whatever input. So by using reference parameter, it means that this message can carry data in, and also we'll use the same variable to carry data out. All right. And then, so what it does do is simply saying that if this string variable is not initialized, or is null, then you change that to none. So as simple as this. If MSG is equal to null, equal to a null. Okay. Then you change, or you can also sing in the all MSG is equal to empty. So there's nothing, no text. Then you change to none. Curly brackets. Then you say message equals to none. That's it. That's all you need to do. Otherwise you do nothing, right? So you just keep the message. So whatever original message or original data passed, input to here will be, will not be changed. In other words, so will be the original data. So then this is part one. And part two, create a method so that when a sparse array of text, some cells may have missing and no empty values is fed. The method will collapse the array into a smaller one by removing all the empty or missing cells. Okay, so this one, I think I gave you the hint here. So use a list as intermediate. So what you need to do is you just need to change that. So when you have a list, the list will automatically push up if there's anything missing. So that way you switch back to the array. So it's basically using just using two lists or two array to change it back and forth. So let's say void, and then just say collapse. Okay. And then we are given a array string array of strings. So just say this is whatever values or texts. Okay. So first, I'm going to change this to a list. So by doing that, I will say create a list first, list string, and then just say list. Okay, equals to new list. and then we do L equal to text dot to list. Okay, and then after you do to list, then empty ones will be removed automatically. And then we can just change it back. So text equals to L dot to array. Okay. Hold on. To array, which is a string list. Hold on, let me see. This is text, which is array, and then L, which is list to array. It says what? The name text does not exist. Oh, text, sorry. Small little text here, right here. Okay, so that's it. So that, or you can just do step by step. Just get rid of this. Get rid of. So if I do that, let's do it. We can do that. So void and collapse. Okay. And then string. And then this time let's just say text also. So we have to. So this time we get this overloading, but this overloading will be illegal because we have two names are identical, and also the parameters are identical. So they have same signature, right? Exactly same signature. So you may wonder, well, what if I change this to different variable name? So that say messages. Would that work? No, will still not work because they still have the same signature, even though this variable name, the parameter name are different, but that does not matter. What matters is the type. This type is different. Okay, so let's just say I will do collapse, change name. Okay, let's say cell by cell. Okay. All right. So first, we still need to create a list string. Okay, let's say L equals to new list. Okay, and then I'm going to process this messages or this text. Let's just we can use just same thing text. Okay, same thing. So we process that line by line. Okay, so for okay, and then integer I equal to 0, I less than text dot length, right? Text, small letter text dot length. Okay, and then I plus plus. Okay, so then we just need to check each line, each cell from 0 to whatever the final number, final tag, final cell. If anyone is empty, which is if it's not empty, we'll add to the list. Okay, so if text I, okay, is not equal to null, or text, or is not equal to null should be okay. If not equal to null, then we add to the list. So then we just simply say l.add and add that text I. Okay. And after we finish, we have the list, then we simply return it. So we have to no, not return it. We have to say text equals to L to array again. To array. So change it back to array. Okay. So this will be possibly that's what most of you will do. Most of you will did. So basically, check every text, and if text is not empty, just add it to the list. Okay. But this actually, this involves a special property of a list. So list will automatically remove empty items to maintain, only those that have values. So this is pretty like a simple approach. Okay. Okay, so those are the two write-up questions, and then this next question is basically the same question, same example, same as what we did in the class. Just say doing like a seasonal cycle. If I give you a text, and then you will change that using the key to encrypt the text. Okay. So only thing that is new here is you need to create, you need to use a reference parameter instead of outer parameter. Okay. So I don't remember what we did. Let me just try to do, so what are the possible function head in this case, okay? So one possible case is I'm going to return the result as encrypted text. So encryption, good. And then what we need is one string, which is a message, original message, and then one, which is integer key, right? So this is one possible function. I think we did this one. We did this function head. So basically, we have message and use the key, and then encrypt it to another message and return. And you can also use outer parameter. So let me just say, so the message here is showing that this does not show nothing to be returned yet. I think not all code paths return the value. So I would just say return. Okay, return something here. Okay. Return just nothing here, empty string. Okay. All right, so the second approach is just using outer parameters for exactly same function. So this time I will just make it as a void. Okay, and then encryption. And then we have original message, MSG, and then we also have a T. And then we are going to use output parameter to say what is encrypted message. Encrypted message. Okay. So again, this time, what is this? Integer key. The output parameter encrypted message must be assigned to before control leaves. So in other words, you have to have what is encrypted message for this function to work. So I will just print something here. Encrypted message equals to something. Okay, nothing. So then this function will be self-contained, even though this is not the right one. Okay, I'm simplified. So base, you need to write a code to get encrypted message here or return something here. Okay, now the third approach will be combining. So you say that this time we have two overloaded versions for encryption. They have the same name, but they have a different signature. You can tell, right? So this one has 3 parameters. This has 2 parameters. Of course, they are different. Okay, and then the next, if we use a reference parameter, then we are going to, let's just have the same name. Okay, encryption. Okay, encryption. Okay. So what I'm going to do is say this is the message and this is the message, right? Why not just combine these two inputs, one input and one output as a one reference parameter? Okay, so then we'll do say ref, and then say string, and then say message. Okay, and then we need to provide a key, integer key. Okay, and there we go. And then this time will. This time this is input and also it's going to be output. So basically you have input, which is original message. And then after you encrypt it, use your same message to return the value back, which is encrypted message. Okay, so let's just comment this line out. So there we have 3 different, three overloaded versions of the same function, same method, encryption. Okay, so the one for the homework is this one. You're going to write a code so that you're going to say this is input and after encrypted, and then you're going to use the message to return the value back. And then you call this function using the form. Okay, so I'm not going to finish this the Visual Studio project. I think this should be straightforward for most of you. All right, now let me ask you whether you have any questions. Does anybody have questions? If not, I'm going to exit this out, and then we'll move on to today's lesson, which is week 11. So very silently, we are getting to the end of the semester. So let you know that next Monday we'll still have a class, but next Wednesday the class will be canceled for Thanksgiving. Okay. So this week we still have 2 classes. So what do we do this week? Let me see. Week 11 of 9. Okay. So what do we do in this week is mainly on how to process text file. Okay. That is very, very important, right? So far we have, well, we did once. Say when we do like a picture viewer, we view, we use file dialog to find a picture and then view the picture. Okay, so that was probably just first time we use file, right? And today we're going to do more file processing. So file processing is a very, very important skill, programming skill. You understand that. So when we have a lot of data, the data typically will be stored in files, right? So of course we're not just use random number to generate those numbers. We have to actually use a program to get the real data from a text file, or maybe from database, or maybe from like XML files. Okay, but this class will be only teaching you how to do text file processing. For database processing, how to get data, how to connect your Visual Studio to database, and how to process your XML files. Those skills will be learned in data in system integration class next semester, which is 427, I believe. Okay, so for this programming class, data text file processing is the one we're going to learn, which is this week. Okay, so let me show you what. Let me tell you what we do. I'm going to skip whiteboard to explain this basic objects we need. So to process a file, we need a file object. Okay, the file object, which is a built-in non-visual objects inside the Visual Studio. Okay, and that file object will help you to open file. And also you can create a file. So basically you can use that to use the file to, for example, create a new file or save text into a file. So that object will help you to do that. Okay, and that file also have one more function, which is called read all data, read all lines, I think, something like that. So basically when you open it, you can just read all lines from the file. Okay, but we're not going to use that. What we'll be using is something called a string reader. Since this name's kind of like a kind of strange, right? String reader, string, the river string, right? Reader. So what you can imagine that is, you are getting data. The data is going to flow to you like a river, okay? And then you use that reader to read that. You can just imagine that, okay? So what does this do? So this object will help you to read line by line. Okay. So for example, read the line, and I'm going to explain that concept when we do real project. And we will read the line. Actually, we have implicitly have a pointer pointing to the line you're reading, and then after the line is read, and then it's going to move on to the next line, and then next line, so line by line. So this string reader object is going to manage how to read line by line. Okay. So we need to use that, okay, instead of read all lines. And then you also have a string writer, which allow you to write line by line. Okay, so if you have like a text, okay, and you want to write it to a file, then you're going to use a string writer to write the text line by line. Okay, so the string writer will do that. Okay, so those are the basic 3 objects we will need to process data file. All right, and then so we're going to practice those. But then first we need to use we're going to use Dialogs. So we already have OpenFile dialog. We learned how to do OpenFile dialog before. For example, we use file dialog to open up a Windows Explorer to pick up a file, pick up a picture file and show that, right? So we do that, right? So today I'm going to do 2 more dialogs that basically will be just give you reinforce the concept of OpenFile dialog. Okay, so how do we process dialog? So the first one will be say we can use like something to choose a font dialog. Okay, so you can open up a font dialog and select a font size, whatever color, and then use that font inside your code. And we can also use an open message dialog box. So basically, message box. So far, we have been using just no dialog. You just say show something, right? Get a message and dismiss that. Okay. However, in situations like when you're dealing with text, after your data has been changed, you want to really make sure that your data, whether user want to save their data or not, right? Before exit. So you probably want to use a open message box to ask to confirm. Do you want to save your data? Yes or no? If yes, then you're going to save the data that has been changed, right? So I'm going to use open message box dialog to do that. Okay, so let's start with project. First of all, let's practice font dialog. So eventually, this is what I'm going to do today. Okay, so we are going to create a text file. The text file will have employee information, employee name, and employee job. Okay, so those information will be listed using this list box. All right, and then we are able to select one employee and then get employee name and job into those boxes and then make changes in here and then you update that. Or if you have new employees, just add name and job and update, and then the new employee will be added to this list. Okay, and then after you fix it, after you finish it, and you say exit, press exit, and then the program will come out to come up ask you, do you want to save your data? Yes or no? If you yes, then data will be actually saved to the data file that which you load from it. Okay, so when you press this load, you load all the employees' information into this list. All right, so then when you exit and save, then your data will be saved into the same file. Okay, so that will be what we do eventually. So first, let's just try to practice font dialog and the file dialog again. Okay, so I'm going to create a new project and make sure you all follow me. So create the new. And there we go, new. And I think today, which exercise this? We did the 7th. I think now let's do 8th, okay? 8th example. And I'm going to also save to desktop. Press next. And if I'm too fast, you let me know, okay? EIG 8th. T is this example, okay. It's great. All right, so let's say how can we practice a font dialog? Let me do that. Let's just create some kind of a title here. Okay, use a label. Okay, label, and let's give a name for the label. Okay, let's just say this is LBL title. And then let's also give the text. The text is data processing app. Okay. Data processing app. Okay. And so let's say this is what I want to do. Instead of create a button to run the dialog, I'm going to just say when somebody just double click on this label, I will open up the font dialog. Okay, how's that? That's pretty simple, right? So make sure that you select this label, and then you go to event, and then finally double click somewhere right here. A double click event. Okay. Okay, double click, and now let's write the code. Okay, so first we'll create a font dialog object. So font dialog. Okay, and then just say my font dialog. So that's just the name of our object equals to new and then font dialog. Okay, so 3 steps of using any dialog. Okay, 3 steps. First, you need to create object of the dialog, and then you're going to show it. You're going to show it, and then after show it, then you have a result, right? So I'm going to use the result will be stored. Result will be in the type of like a dialog result. So there's dialog result, yeah, result. So let's just say result here. Okay. So you need to go to open the file, open the font, show this font dialog, and then receive the result. So result equals to just my font dialog dot show dialog or show dialog. Okay, show dialog. Okay. So what does that mean? So this one will open up the font dialog, and then after the font dialog selected, it is open. The user is going to select a font, right? Font type, font size, family, all that, right? Okay. And then after the result, then there's a button that's a OK button or no button, cancel button, I think. So this result will basically just have is yes, OK or not. It's OK, that means you're selected. It's cancelled, that means nothing is selected. So after it's selected, then we're going to have a font. So let's just create a variable called a font. Let's just say that is my choice, my font choice. Okay. All right, so I'm going to use this to say what font is returned by this font. Okay, so this is going to be returned by this my font dialog. So the font, what font is selected, that will be showing what would be carried back by this. Okay, so now let's do step 3. So now we are going to process the dialog. If somebody select OK, that means the font is selected. Okay, so if the result is equal to dialog result dot OK, dot OK. If dialog is canceled, then of course there's nothing to be processed. So only if user select a font and then press OK, then you process it. So what do we need to process? So first of all, we need to get the font. So the font with my font choice. So which is this variable you declared will be equal to my font dialog dot font. Okay. So that is the font I selected. Okay. And the next, let's try to use the font. So what I will do is I will just change the label, the text, my the LBR title label dot font, and make that font to be my font choice. Font choice. There we go. Okay, so now let's try to summarize, sum this 3-step process. First of all, you create font dialog. Okay, and for any dialog, open font dialog, open file dialog, a message box dialog, you do the same thing. It's just create the object first. Okay, and then make sure that you're going to use font dialog result, a variable to receive the dialog result. So dialog will be either cancelled or OK or yes or no, right? So the result, so then you show the font dialog, and then the result will be if users cancel or you store, press OK, then that result will be stored in here. And finally, you process the result. So process. So if the result is OK, then what I do is in this case, I just get the from dialog, tell me what is the font the user has selected, and then I can use the font. So this is pretty simple case. Okay. And now let's try it. Let's try see what we have done so far. So get a basic idea of how to use dialog. So we have a font. This is title. So let's double click on here, and then get the font, right? Font dialog. So now let's try to pick up a font. Bold, 16. I was wrong. There's no color here. There's no color. The color choice is not inside this. Okay, so pick up one and press OK. So if press cancel, nothing will happen. So this press OK and cancel a dialog result. Okay. And then the actual font selected is carried back by this one, by my dialog.font. Does that make sense? Press OK. Now you see that the font, the label has been changed to the font you selected. So you can double click again and then open up a different one, choose a different font. Okay. So anyway, so that is how we use font dialog. So now let me close this. Okay, stop that. Okay, make sense? Yes or no? So next, let's try to use OpenFile dialog. The OpenFile dialog is actually inside a package which may not be available readily, so you have to introduce that. So using system.io, this one, okay? So in other words, the file package, the file class, I was talking about file, file, string writer, that everything that related to input output, those classes, okay, is inside a package called OpenFile, is system.io, okay, is inside the system.io right here, okay, so we need to use that. And next, let me show you what I want to do. So instead of just directly writing code, I'm going to do this. I'm going to create a text box, just get the data loaded into the text box first. Okay, let's learn how to use OpenFile dialog to open text file and then get data put into the text box. Okay. I can also show the file name. So when you use OpenFile dialog, right, get a file name. Okay, so I'll also use file name. So I'm going to create 2 text boxes. Okay, so let's say first is label. Okay, so for the label, I'm going to give a name, give a text. So that is A to B, that is properties, okay. Okay, so first of all, let's give a name. We don't need a name, we just need text. Just label text, which is file name. Where is text? It's bottom here, I think. Okay, so let's just say file colon. Okay, and then we're going to put a text box so that we show actual file path, actual file that has been picked up by dialog. Text box. Okay, so for that I need to give a name. So let's say that is txt file name. Okay. That, and then bottom, I'm going to just create one gigantic text box to show all the messages. So that one I just make it a big like that. And also let's give a name. First of all, give a name. txt file body, okay, or file content. And then let's make it multi-lined. The default is false. And then you can drag that to make it a big text box. Okay. All right, and then we'll have a button. Let's just have a button to load, okay, to load text file. Button here. Okay, so for the button, let's just give a name. Let's say btn load text. Okay. And I have a name here, for a label here. So load file. Load file. So basically, we're going to just write a code in here. Okay. So this time we're going to use the OpenFile dialog and the string reader, read the file line by line. Let's just create a text file. So we can use Notepad++ or Notepad. So the Notepad++, I think I told you before, so that is very good alternative to TextPad. So let's just create a text file. So instead of typing, I am going to just copy some text from somewhere. Okay, so you can from anywhere. Copy. In here. Okay, and then let's save that. Save as. So I'm going to save to anywhere, okay? So because we're going to use that, you're going to use dialog to find it. So I'm going to put a text, put on the desktop. Desktop here, okay? So let's just say my sample file, okay? It is .txt, okay? Those are the file extension for text file. So press save button. And then we don't need it anymore. Don't need this anymore. We can close the files here. Okay. So we are going to use a file OpenFile dialog to find that and open it. Does that make sense? Okay. So what do we need to do? We will. Let's see. What do we do? Let's go to Visual Studio here. So we are going to put a code into this load button. Double click. And then we try to put a code in here, okay? So 3 steps of for dialog processing. First, let's create the OpenFile dialog. Open file, there we go. And then just say my dialog equals to new OpenFile dialog, okay? So for OpenFile dialog, remember I told you that also, you can also specify what is the initial directory when you open that file dialog. So when you open it, first you will look for which folder, which file, which location. And then you can also use a filter, the filter which basically say what kind of files you can open, okay? So let's try to do that. So my initial directory, okay? Let's just say that is equal to what? Say colon backslash, something like that. Okay, and then semicolon. So you notice that when you do this, put like a backslash inside the text, it just means escape character. It's not interpreted as like a file path. So what we could do is we could add a sign in front of it, or you can just put a two slash instead of 1 to indicate that you're going to interpret that as a regular character. Okay, so put an add character in front of this text. It will make all backslash thing as regular backslash instead of escape character. Does it make sense? Okay, second, let's specify that we are going to have file extension, which is .txt. So my d.filter. Okay, so remember the filter will be in two parts, separated by this pipeline. Okay, make sure that the second part is simply say .txt. So second part is just remember that is let me show you this part. Okay, let's see. So we are going to have pipeline. So just look at the first two. Okay, text file. Okay, this part, just this part. Okay, separated by this pipeline. And then the pipeline after the pipeline is essential content. That part you should not have like a space before, after, and if you do, then you're not going to have a file to be picked up. Okay, so this part is essential. Okay, and then the first part can be anything. The first part is just shows as a label. Okay, and after, so if you have more than one extension to be added, then you can just do another pair. So they say this are all files. And then again, this extension part is essential. You should not leave any space before and after. Okay, so let's just do it here. So let's say first, we'll make sure that there's no space after this, and there's no space after this pipeline. Okay, and then the file extension is going to be txt, and then before that can be anything. So I will just say this is text files. Okay, and then I can also put. So what do I mean by text file? What I mean by text file is simply like a file extension with txt. Okay, so that part can be anything. So you can have space or whatever, does not matter. But the only thing you have to make sure that this part, this extension, file extension part after this pipeline is there's no space. Okay. Now, if you have more than one file extension, so besides opening text file, you also want to open some other files like a Word file or like an Excel file, then you add more file extensions. So in that case, you're going to first of all, create a pipeline again, and then create pipeline for two parts, okay? The second part is going to be a file extension. Let's say this time I'll go to all files. Okay, start. Okay, make sure there's no space before and after. And before that can be anything. So you can have space, you can have no space, all files. Okay, and then you can also put parentheses to indicate what do you mean by all files. So you just simply say all kind of extensions, all file names. This first part is file name, the second part is file extension, right? Okay, and then semicolon, so that will be your initial directory. So after this two are optional. Okay, you don't have to have this. Understand? You don't have to have this, but this just showing that when you open file dialog, you want to because you may have so many files, you want to restrict your file search to only those type of files. Okay, and so this is to create the open file dialog object. Now let's say I want to show the result, right? So I will open it, and then I will open it. The user is going to press OK or cancel. So I'm going to have a dialog result. Okay, so dialog result, and then let's say result. Okay, and after that we are ready to open the file dialog. So result equals to what? Result equals to myd dot show dialog. Show dialog. There we go. Okay, so this command will actually open the file dialog, and then user will select a file and then press OK or cancel, and then this whatever the action, the user selection, and OK or cancel will be recorded by him at this one, by result. Okay, and now we are ready to process this file. So to process this file, we are going to get a file name, and then we are going to use that file name to actually open the file and read line by line. Okay, let's just get a file name first. Okay, so let's create string file name. Okay, file name. Okay, and then if result is equal to, okay, and the dialog result dot OK. So that means that also the user has selected something, selected a file. Okay, so after if user selected a file, then we can actually get the selection. Get a selection from my d.file name. We can put that into file name here. Okay, so file name will be equal to my d.file name right here. So this actually will give you whatever file that name has been selected. And before we do processing, the open up file, I'm going to just show this file put into the text box. Okay, the text box called file name, right? File name box dot text. That will be just equal to whatever file name you selected. File name. There we go. Okay. So that we can try this code, try this part of the code, see how can we open. Is the name incorrect? Let me see. Use of unassigned. This is okay. So you know what happened here? Because we have if. What is no? What if user canceled? So in that case, what is the file name? So actually, in this case, before that, let's just make it initialize to nothing, initialize to empty string, and then there will be no problem. Okay. So then if there's nothing selected, then the file name will be just empty. So just too much double semicolon here. All right, so I'm going to stop for a second and let you to catch up, and then we do testing. Make sure that you're up to this point. So after the file name is selected, and then we are ready to open the file and process it. Okay. So before that, we have to make sure that the file dialog is working for you. Are you okay, everyone? Are you okay, everyone?
Yes,
okay,
all good.
Okay, good. Now let's test it. Okay, let's go to start. And now we're going to use this button to open up OpenFile dialog. So you see that the entire Windows Explorer will be open for you. And then let's just say select desktop, the file we just created, so my sample file. So here, you see the file extension here. We have only selected two, right? We only specify two folders, text files, all files, right? So then here we selected, we're selecting text files. So press select this one and press open. There we go. So we get a file path here. See that? So it's not just a file name, it's actually a whole path. So what is C directory, and underneath that is on the users, and then under your username, and then in my case is OneDrive, desktop. Okay. So this gives you the entire file name. Okay. Is it working? Yes or no?
It works.
Good. So now let's try to process the file. So what I'm going to do is we need to create a string reader, and then we can read line by line. Okay. And every time when you read a line, I will put that into the text box. So let me show you that here. Okay. So press this button again, right? And then, so after you open the file, you find the file, right? The file to open, this file you want to open. So I'm going to open the file, okay? And then I'm going to use the string reader to receive the open the file, okay? So at this point, I'm going to declare a variable called string reader, okay? And then I just say my reader equals to file dot open text, open text, okay? And then which text, which file name, what is the file name? The file name is already found in my dialog, right? So I'm going to just use that file name to open. Okay. So what does this line do? This line will open up the file you just picked, and then put the data from the file into this reader. Okay. Put data into this reader, and then you can use the reader to read a line, read a line, read a line, and read many, many lines. Okay, until there's no more to read. Okay, so every time when you read a line, then you're going to have like a text read, right? The text of each line is going to be text. So let's create a variable to hold the result, hold each line's result. So let's just say string a line. Okay, a line. Okay, and then we can read one line. A line equals to my reader dot read line. That we just read one line. Okay. Okay. So at this point, let me explain to you what happens when you do that. Okay. So let me. I don't want to switch screen, but let me see where I cannot do it here. Whiteboard. So let me try Word file. I think I can write directly in Word in here. Let's use a blank file here. Okay, so let me use another pen to write. So what happened? What happened? You just did in the code you just did is this. So you're going to create some kind of rectangle area with many lines. Okay, and that whole area is called my reader. The whole area. Okay, and then implicitly, we open the file, we open the reader, we open the file, put data in the file into this box. Okay, all the data, all the lines, all data from the file will be stored in here. Will be in this like a temporary memory, okay, location called string my reader. And this reader will have implicit pointer. The pointer by default, the first line is going to be pointing to the first row. And then every time when you read a line, so for example, if you just write, say, my reader dot read a line. If you do that, and then this pointer, you're going to this reader is going to read this line pointed by this pointer. Okay, get data from the line that is pointed, and then after that, this pointer will automatically advance to the next line. So the pointer is going to point to the second line for it. Okay, and then if you do this statement again, say my reader, the reader line, then it's going to read the line that is currently pointing, and this pointer is going to advance to the next line. And then you can read the line again, and then you read the line and also move the pointer to the next line. Does it make sense? So it will be moving all the way to the end, and after that, the end, the final line, maybe there's no text, right? So in that case, the result of the reader line is going to be missing, is null. So then you can stop, right? So we're going to keep on using this reader line until we find the one line that read is empty, it's nothing, it's text, it's just end the file. Okay, so we're going to use a while loop, right? Because we don't know how many lines, how many lines the text file is, how many the text file has. So we have to just read the line until there's nothing to read. So then the number of steps is not determined when I write the code. It really depends on the file you open, right? the actual file you open. You may open a file with 30 lines, you may open a file with 1,000 lines, so that, I would just use a while loop to process that. Okay, so how do we do that? I'm going to just say while, okay, while a line is not equal to 0, is not equal to null, okay? If it's not equal to null, null. Then we are going to process the line. So what we need to process is pretty simple. So we are going to put this line into text box, okay? So I will say txt, what is called text body, file body dot text equal to a line, okay? Put that into the a line, all right? And we're going to, after that, we're going to read the line again. So a line equals to my reader at read the line. So after read the new line, so remember pointer is pointing to the next line, and then read the that line, and then you go back to check, see whether that line is empty or not. If it's not empty, then you do it again. You can just add that to here. So now you see that this will not work, right? So you have to just make sure that you have to keep on attaching new line to the existing line. So what I will do is I will say if I have a new line, I'm going to just plus and then put like a add like a return, right? So that will be \r and \n, the new line, and then press the new line, right? Plus new line. So that way, what is this? Cannot be applied to operator type string. Hold on here. Oh, sorry. Here, this existing text. So that txt. So existing text body dot text. Okay. Plus new line. So existing text, just add a return and then add a new line. So every time we just add a new line to the existing text. Okay. And after this loop is finished, is processed, then the string reader is no longer useful anymore. So you should close it to save your memory. So let's just say my reader dot close. Okay. So you should close the memory because the file may be huge and it takes a lot of memory, right? After you process it, you no longer need it, just close it. Okay, I think we are ready to test this. Let me just pause for a second and see whether anybody has questions. So what I did is, after the file is selected, now I'm going to open it, okay? So I will use a file object to open that. And then after that, open it, you're going to get data from the file, right? So all data will be stored in this string reader. String reader is just like a string, like a river of like a data for the original file. Okay, so what you just do, you will just imagine is something like a rectangle area with pointers, with line pointers, and also each line has text. Okay, so that is a reader object. Okay, which stores the actual data, and then you keep on just using read the line, and every time you read the line, you put that into a line text, the variable, which is a line, the read line, okay? And then you want to make sure that a line is not empty, it's not end of file, so just a line is not null, then you process it. Of course, if line is empty, then just stop, the loop will be broken. Okay, so when you reach to the end last line, there's nothing to read, then it will be broken. Okay, so I split the whole job into two parts. First part is using file dialog to pick up a file, and the second part is using string reader to read text file line by line. Okay, so of course, here we are just trying to put that in the text box. You can also create a list, put that into list, right? The list, and then get a line and list.add a line, right? So instead of this showing that in the text box, we just list.add and parentheses a line. So then you get all the items into list, right? All data into list. Okay. All right. Does anybody have questions? Let's try it. Let's test it. So make sure it's working. Okay, let's load. Let's see. I'm going to use the same file. Oh, crashed. Oh, not crashed. Why? Why so slow? It does open and then get all the data displayed. Let me see. Yeah, all data is displayed here. I don't know why this computer just hung in for a second. I thought it was some kind of error. Does it work for everyone? Yes or no?
Yeah, it works.
It works good. Okay, so now let's see. How much time do I have? 10 minutes? 10 minutes. Okay, let's just do some preparation work for Wednesday. Okay, so what I want to do next is I want to create a form. Let me show you what the form we want to do. Okay, so you can do that quickly. I want you to create a form like this with 2 text boxes. Okay, respectively for employee name and the job title. And then we have a list box. The list box, we will show all employees. Okay, and then we can load those employees into list box. And then we can update, double click on each employee and then change their name, a job, whatever, and then update. And then we can exit. Okay, so let's just create a form like this, and then we'll finish the rest on Wednesday. Okay. What's going on here? I think I double click on the form. Okay, so that's just, so I'm going to create 2 labels. Okay, let me just do it here. So that one is for employees. So let me put just label here, employee name, employee, okay. And then put a text box afterwards. Okay, so let's just say that is, that's it for that. For anything that you need to write put into code, you just give a name, formally give a name. Otherwise, you will just automatically name as a txt box 1, txt box 2, which may not make sense. So I will just, this is e-name, okay? E-name, capital E. And then next label. So if you can do faster, then you just go ahead. Okay. And then next one, the label is job title. I don't need to have a name. And then we create a text box for that. Text box. Okay, so let's just name here. So then that is, I have to name that because that is going to put inside the code. So that's txt job. Okay. And next, I'm going to have a list box to show all employees. Okay. So if you desire to be longer, do more here. So let's give a name for the list box. Let's call that as LSTEMP, list of employees. Okay. And then we need to have a button to load employees. So let's create a button. Okay. And let's give a name. Let's say this is a btn load emp. Okay. And then just give a text, which is load employees. Okay. 1 line, 2 lines, doesn't matter. Okay, and then let's create another button to exit. So cancel that. Just exit. Let's try to make it same size as the one above that. You see that this part of work is very time consuming. A lot of you will be doing job like this as a business analyst. You're going to do like prototyping. Okay, am I running out of time? Not yet. Somebody has left. So let's go to equivalence of btn exit. Okay, and then let's have a text which is exit. Okay. And this button, we know that we are going to ask a question. Do you really want to exit? Do you want to save data? Yes or no? Something like that. All right. And one more button, that is to update or maybe save. Okay. Let's just say button save. And then btn save. Okay. I think we are pretty much done, except that this label must be aligned to the left, aligned to the right. So we can use this align here, align to the right. And then these two buttons, these two text boxes, I want to be aligned to the left, which is aligned to the left right here. Okay. And also you can make it the same size. I think they are not in the same size yet. Okay. So this is just like a prototyping. All right, make sure you save this project for next class, for Wednesday's class, okay? So I'm going to save everything and then close. Let me see whether anybody have a question before I close. Anybody has a question? Okay, so if not, I'll see you Wednesday, everyone. Stop recording for